All right, welcome to the Arcane Duels, which is both the name of our group and currently the operating name of our game that we're about to show you guys. Oh, today I am Sharkbait here with Coshade
Hey!
and Puddnhead.
Yep.
Good morning for us. Hello to everybody else, I guess. And yeah, we're here to show off some features of our new game and show you guys how to set it up and play if you're interested in joining. So, Coshade, why don't you take us away?
Right. So we are just barely into beta right now with this game. We've gotten a lot of the core rules done. Some of you may know because we were showing you the game before, things like that. But this is kind of a passion project that we got going on right now. And I guess to start out with, the basic idea that we have for the theme of the game is basically, before we get into rules and stuff, is there's basically a bunch of retired adventurers, kind of retired D&D people, all high level characters, and they got a lot of magical stuff, and they decided to make some sort of sport or maybe some sort of school graduation event, something like that. We haven't quite figured it out yet. But the idea is that there are young adventurers looking to prove themselves through some athletic event here. And so the idea is that you're going to be looking to be taking objectives, which you have all these objectives here, and you keep the objectives in order to gain points each round. And the idea of how you win the game is you basically score 25 points, and the first player to 25 points wins. And to do that, you either ping an objective, which you then switch the... Do we have a thing here? Yeah, we do. Yeah, basically, switch the objective, and it goes from this to a neutral state, which is a...
For those familiar broken with Mage Wars, it is similar to how toggling objectives works in Battlegrounds.
It is really similar to that, yeah. So you go to this, and then you switch to your color objective. Since I'm the red player, I'll be using this. And then you put a point on, indicating that every round you basically gain a point. After, of course, you have it for one round, you flip this over, and you gain 2 points a round.
You actually gain more points by holding your objective longer than one turn. So the longer you hold it, the more points will add up. Though you'll never score a max of 2 per round.
And from one objective.
From one objective.
The other way you gain points, I don't know if we have it written down over here, one of our cheat cards.
No.
The other way you gain points is by knocking out your opponent mage. By doing that, of course, you reduce their life to 0, and then you gain 3 points. Now, you don't actually, if you get knocked out, you don't lose the game instantly. Love it. Instead, what happens is you're going to reset, and you're going to have an exhaustion bonus, and you start the game. Not again. You start the game from your position back here. There's other stuff we'll get into later with that, but those are the basics of how you win the game.
Yep, we'll cover the details, but basically you have 2 ways to win. Get 25 points or knock your opponent out 3 times.
Well, knock your opponent out it's an automatic loss for your opponent if you get knocked out 3 times. But knocking him out gives you more points, 3 points to knock them out.
Yeah.
Each knockout is more points, but also 3 knockouts will make you lose. Like if you get knocked out 3 times. The key part of each time you get knocked out, all of your spells cost 1 extra mana.
For each time you've been knocked out?
For each time you've been knocked out, yeah. So.
All right.
We did discover that is painful.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually pretty good. Anyway, do we want to show how to set up, how to pick stuff?
Well, the resources in the game are mana and actions. Each spell is going to cost mana and actions to do.
Although there are also some other things that are unofficial resources like the terrain that will matter, but we'll cover that when we get there.
All right, so you're playing. What are you playing?
I just picked up a random deck. I didn't know. I'm not actually committed to playing. What is this? Air. But I just wanted to go over really quick.
And talk about I
just want to go ahead really quick. So there's a few types of spells out there. This is an attack spell. And let's talk about really quick. So your mage has an amount of mana they gain every round. We're calling it channel, and then a total amount in your pool. So for instance, this is a 10 channel, and this is how much you have. So at the beginning of a round, you would gain that. And just so you know, that's kind of our game turn. So you're channeling. It's B. And you basically use mana for the top left icon here. So it says 5, so it costs 5 mana to use this. We'll talk about the other stuff as we go along here. So for instance, let's see this. So that 3 in the top right, that's actions. Let's go over actions really quick. Actions are pretty unique in this game, in that it's based on a 0 to 5 time scale. So when you have a mage that does an action, for instance, they want to gust, they're going to spend 3 actions, and they go to this 3 here, and then 5 mana, so they would subtract 5. And then they would perform the action that's on the bottom part here. So it's a 1 to 3 line, which I don't know if you all want to explain that. What
We can cover
range is.
we can cover the range and target types later.
Sure. So basically, you would execute this bottom part here. So that's basically kind of like what a basic idea of what spells are. Now, if you wanted to do a move action, that's 2 actions, and you move 2 spaces. Now, if you let's just reset here. Now, if you wanted to do a run action, you get 3 movement. So you get 1 extra movement for 1 action. It's kind of more efficient, but it costs 1 extra action. And you just count the number of hexes, and that's how many you move. Pretty simple. Anyway, talking about the action timeline, let's just take a creature. It looks like Puddnhead has put down the Snow Beast, and it also exists on the timeline. And so how it basically works is if you have initiative, you start with at 0-0, and then you take a turn. So let's just say Snow Beast wants to let's just have it move. So Snow Beast, let's just say, takes 2 actions, and it's going to move 2. Now it is either now it is my turn. Because it rotates, and we have two guys in 0.
You alternate activations, and you stay in the same action slot until everything is moved out of that action slot. So in this case, action slot 0 still has 2 things remaining, and since Puddnhead just moved his dude, it goes back over to Coshade to do something.
Yes, I hope I'm explaining this right, because I feel like I'm talking a lot. So let's just say with my mage.
Tag me in.
Yep, let's just say with my mage.
I just want to say that you start at the and you empty the lowest slot before any lowest slot goes.
Yeah. Yep. So let's just say with my mage here, I'm just going to run. Because I want to get to an objective, so I'm doing this. So now it's going to go back to Puddn, and Puddn has 1 action left. Let's just say Puddn doesn't want to do much right now, so he's actually just going to guard. Right? Like, why would you ever guard here? I don't know. But let's just do it for the sake of this. He's guarding.
The point isn't strategic. The point is to show the example of what it looks like going up the action timeline.
And guarding takes 1 action, doesn't end your turn or anything like that. So now that we're all done with 0, we're going to move on to number 1. And, what's this? We have 1 creature in number 1. It's Puddn's Mage. Even though he just acted, he did what's a faster action than running or moving. So it's his action again. We're going to remove this guard, because guard always gets removed after you act. And now Puddn's Mage can now act again.
Yep, and he would get to do a spell or do something else.
So let's just say Puddn wants to run. We're going to spend 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're looking at 1. One's empty now.
Well,
sure.
Let's do it this way. I will cast Encroaching Ice for some reason.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh yeah, show me where the spell goes.
So that's going to cost me 7 mana in the upper left, and it's going to cost me 1 action and in the upper right. So that's going to put me here, and then it's a it will do. Okay, so this is how you're going to read it. The blue number 1 is the cooldown of the spell. That's what slot of the cooldown it goes into. We'll explain cooldowns in a second. How I read this is wherever I am, I will place one ice terrain
in the range.
That's what that arrow means. That's our keyword for.
Oh yeah,
So
we
you
haven't
could
even
zoom
gone.
in if you hit Alt and zoom in on that. Just it's easier to see. But
distribute one ice terrain. So I would take an ice terrain from our terrain bags over here. And area 1 means anything adjacent to me or where I'm standing.
yep. So you can put an ice terrain anywhere in that range.
Anywhere in here. All right. This ice terrain, I can choose to put it lethal side up or difficult side up.
And we'll cover what those mean later.
And if I put it difficult side up right here, that is placing a terrain.
Yep. And so now that we're finished with the action slot 1, you'd go back and evaluate the next one up, which is 2. And in this case, Puddnhead just gets to keep going until we reach an action slot that has Coshade stuff in it.
Right. So in action slot 2,
missile, and then I don't know, I walk somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And now I don't have anything in action slots 3.
Yep. So one of the things that's important to keep in mind when playing this game from a competitive standpoint will be the timing of the actions that you take. It's not just pass back and forth, but it is how fast the actions you do take, or how long they take.
So if Coshade did something that was one action, then whoever had initiative would have to go first in action slot 4.
Yep. The initiative, the cube of initiative currently until we get a better token, determines who goes first in each slot. So if there's a slot with each of us or each of you, then they determine based on initiative who goes first. Those are the basics of the gameplay. At this point, we probably should show them how to set up.
So let's talk a little bit more. That is how the action timeline works. So obviously having more creatures means it gets more actions, things like that. But let's talk really quick about what happened here. This cooldown track.
Oh yeah, the cooldown.
And the player board. So there's a few things here that's going on. Now, I don't know why that happened. Okay, so encroaching ice. If you look at it as this little blue number here, and if you look, like I have like a spell here that's 2 blue. The cooldown track is basically when you cast a spell, you place it on a track that's 1 to 5, depending on that blue number there. And so this would go on 2, this would go on 1, and then when we're at the upkeep, there's that phase called decrement cooldowns. Basically, you're not allowed to touch the spell until it's back in your hand. So during that decrement cooldown step, encroaching ice would go back into Puddn's hand, and this building gale would go down to 1. So you're not allowed to cast this building gale yet, but that encroaching ice that Puddnhead is now usable again immediately. So all
a couple notes on that when you're done.
So basically that's it's basically like you don't have as many spells as like we've talked about in other games, but like you're able to reuse spells and you're able to plan out when you can reuse them.
If you're familiar with Mage Wars, you have multiple copies of spells. In this game, you do not. Each spell has a cooldown, so you will get it back at some point, but it takes X amount of turns depending on what the cooldown stat is. So that makes some of the spells powerful because they can be reused every turn, and some of the really, really, really big effects can happen, but they only happen like every 3 or 4 turns. So those are things to also keep in mind when playing the game.
Yeah. So usually spells with higher cooldown is going to have a bigger effect on the game. All right.
And that is also why each deck only contains 10 cards, because those cards can be reused over and over and over again.
Yep. Although that is a number we're still testing, so 10 is the current number.
Okay, so let's see here. The last thing I want to talk about here is your permanent slot and treasure cards.
The concentration slot.
Sorry, yeah, it's changed.
No, you're good.
Shark, do you actually want to take this one, or do you want me to keep going?
So, for which part? The concentration slots?
Yeah, I mean, it does have to do with treasure cards, but if you don't want to, I get it.
I could do it. So the game has a permanent type spell that includes your creatures, and in some cases that includes other spells that have effects, depending on ones that we have. So I think one makes your mage fast, and there's other permanent types of spells. You have a certain number, and currently the number is 1 concentration slots. So you can have 1 permanent on the board. It doesn't go to cooldown; it goes directly to your concentration slots. Then they have a permanent effect on the board, and they stay until they're either destroyed or defeated or whatever it is. Additionally, the first time that an objective is broken, or the first time that the enemy has been knocked out, you get to claim a treasure. And the treasure cards will go over how to make the pile of treasure cards. There's a bit of a drafting thing in the very beginning of the setup, but we'll do that later. You get to choose from the treasure cards whether you want to take the treasure, which can have powerful effects, or you can place that face down and use that as another concentration slot. So you could theoretically have multiple permanents, but you need to start breaking objectives or people's faces first.
And so basically your placement would be right next to basically you're given 1 concentration slot to start with. So you could only cast 1 permanent. And in this case, Puddnhead cast a Snow Beast. So if you got a treasure card, you place it right next to it, and that is your decision time. It's either it's right here, or you flip it over, and it becomes a slot itself for another creature.
Yep, and that enables different kinds of strategies, whether you want to go wider on permanents or heavier on the permanents, or whether you want to just use the treasure cards, which are supposed to have some pretty powerful effects. So it's supposed to not be an easy choice, but it is supposed to be a choice, like a meaningful, impactful choice.
Yeah, I mean, having more creatures on the board, it generates more actions, as you saw. It lets you hit more objectives. It's such a big decision right now.
It does depend on a lot of things, with from deck construction to the mage you're playing to the thing. We have 4 different mages currently with 4 different classes, so they all have different reasons to choose either side of that equation. So, all right. Have we covered all of the basics, and we're ready to start doing a setup and an example?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm putting on the screen here, but that kind of comes up as you play more. So that's, I don't necessarily want to go over it right now.
Nope. I think we do a step-by-step example of how to play.
Yeah, sure. Can I get a reset on this board here?
No. Yes, give me a second.
Thanks.
Load that, and since we are doing this from the beginning, we can also show everybody where the components are located. So when you're picking a class, you can go ahead and hover over it and show people how to do stuff. What we're looking at here, because for those who didn't make the mod, sometimes it can be a little confusing.
Yeah. So I guess let's see here. I don't know if anyone has a preference that's been watching the stream, because I see we have quite a bit of people here. But why don't I go? I'm thinking Fire Mage. That's what I'm thinking about going. There is Air, Ice, or Earth, but I'm thinking we're gonna burn some stuff up here.
I've had fun playing all of them, so pick your favorite.
So we're gonna go Fire. And I don't know, Puddin. I don't know where you want to go.
I don't either.
Pick when you get
go Ice. Go Ice. Go Ice.
Right.
Why not?
Well, I suppose we have done Fire Air before. So.
Just pick one that you guys individually have not played yet.
I don't know if I've played Ice. I certainly haven't played Fire, because that's Shark's go-to.
Wow.
I will note that I've played each of these at least once. So
I don't think I was.
I haven't played Fire yet.
When...
I've played the other ones, just not Fire. So
yeah,
I've seen Fire a few times.
All right. The health trackers are over on the side over here.
Yeah. So every creature has health. So you pick up the health. Now I'm just putting this off to the side because it's not summoned yet.
Yeah.
But you don't know if I have this in my hand or not.
Well, no, you do. In this case, you do, because it's for playtesting. But each bag has all of the components each mage will need. So
yes.
That's something to note when you're creating a game.
Yeah. Okay. So we do have custom deck building rules, but for right now, because we're in such an early stage, we are just doing pre-made decks. And eventually you're going to be able to mix the elements and stuff like that. But like for right now, it's just if you want a quick play, you pull out the deck and it's there ready to go. You know, it's super easy.
Super easy. All the components are in the same bag of the color and label. So.
And by the way, if anyone is watching this on live, you can also play this. This is totally free on TTS. You just need to own TTS to play it.
Yep, need to own TTS, and our Discord has some instructions on how to do that. And if you have questions, ping us because we're getting all of the new player setup stuff on there.
Yeah.
All right. So what we need to do now is roll for initiative.
All right. What is it? 5?
Roll 5 dice and count the lightnings. Oh my god, that's 4. A heck of a roll.
I got 3.
That's the highest roll between 2 people I think we've seen yet. So the cube of initiative passes over to Puddnhead.
So in this game, we're probably going to cover a lot of stuff we didn't say. There is a rulebook that we have that you can access and read it over.
Discord.
So if there's something that we haven't mentioned, we're going to talk about it. But otherwise, just I guess enjoy this.
And if you're watching live and have questions, feel free to ask. I will keep track of the chat. Yeah, we'll be here for that. So.
All right. So did you want initiative then?
Yeah. No, I just get it.
So
I'm going to.
So initiative, for anyone that's wondering, you keep initiative depending on if you have more cooldown cards in your thing, and if it's tied, then it switches over to the other person.
Oh yeah, we'll cross it, but yeah. The passing of initiative isn't as alternating as Mage Force was. Yep. So start if you want. There's a between the 2 players' point trackers, there is a setup reference card there. So we have done step 1, which is pick a mage from the classes provided. Step 2, determine player which starts. We did that already. And so just a note, each player will roll 5 dice. Whoever gets the more lightnings gets to choose between the initiative or setting up the first arena wedge. And we're going to go over the first arena wedge now in the create map step.
So basically each of these wedges here, as you can see, they're sort of like billowed out. There's 2 objectives. You're going to pick the one that you want. So you might want one closer to your mage. You might want one farther from their mage. For this case, I'm just going to do the one closer to my mage here.
So you're going to choose,
let's just see.
First thing, you're going to choose where the objective is, and then you're going to place 4 different terrain tiles while in that objective.
Of the same element.
Yep, of the same element. Thank you. Good call.
Let's just go this.
And as we may have noted earlier, each element terrain has 2 different attributes. We will cover them as they come up. We're just trying to get a demo of how to play the game first. So they each have reasons to pick them, and we will go over them as they become relevant.
Yeah. All right. So now that I've placed my first thing, now it is Puddn's turn to choose.
I have to choose a treasure card from the whole stack, right?
No. For now, we're doing wedges first, then treasures, and then you get the first treasure choice. So we'll go up to the draft in a minute.
I see. All right. Well, I'm going to set this one up.
And I promise this does become faster as you get used to the setup.
Ooh. Okay. Now, terrain tiles. Basically, every mage has terrain tiles. And they all do something unique on themselves. And so what we're doing now is we're placing these terrain tiles. This does shift throughout the game. A lot of this game is actually based around just figuring out the right way to place your terrain tiles to enhance your spells or to hurt your enemy from doing all sorts of things. And so you'll kind of see what we're doing here as we go along.
While you guys are doing that, I can do some explaining on that too.
Yeah, go for it.
They're doing the setup. Each mage class has a tendency either to consume terrain or to be near terrain and build up. And some of the strategic decisions are both where and how much terrain to place so that you can fuel the effects that you're trying to do later on in the game. And that's some of the decision making going on right now.
All right. So do you want to choose a treasure?
All right, and now that they have finished placing terrain and creating the map, the next thing to do is draft the treasure cards. Each player will draft one treasure to go into the pile until there are 6 total treasures. So each player is going to get effectively 3 choices. And they're going to go into the treasure pile, and so each objective that gets broken will allow you to choose from that pile your choice. You can choose even the other player's drafted treasures. You just have to break an objective first or KO the opponent. Usually the objective ones happen first. When the treasures are out, they're out, but they're there to enhance your gameplay or to mess up your opponent's gameplay in whatever fashion you decide is best for your strategy. So right now, Puddnhead is looking through the pile of treasures to decide which one he would like to add to the draftable pool during the first part of the objective taking.
Looking at those treasures.
So you should narrate which ones he's thinking about and taking.
All right. Well, so you can't see what I'm seeing because I'm searching it, but I'm looking at several options. Ice has a limited attack range, so I'm looking at this archer's gloves over here.
Yep, and that extends ranges for a certain amount of spell or certain types of spells.
So
I'm also looking at Constructor's Mage Hammer here.
Yep.
Oops. All right. Come on. There we go.
And now you're messing everything up.
Because Ice has a pretty nice threshold of extra damage.
Yep, ice is one of the ice is one of the elements that likes to build up and keep their stuff around. They don't like to consume the ice, but they have range and speed limitations because of it.
I'm also looking at Ancient Tree Branch Wand to give my spells accelerate, so I can cast more of them. So it's all kinds of stuff here.
And in this case, you should just pick one.
Yes.
So I'm going to put Constructor's Hammer in the treasure pile.
All right.
Cool, I'm going to choose one.
All right. Coshade has chosen another one. I didn't see what it was.
All right. And I will put Archer's Gloves in the pile.
All right.
I'm not searching now. Yay, I cannot search.
It's working. It's working.
I have tea.
I have coffee.
I do love some glimmering specks. All right, we'll do this one.
You got yourself some glimmering specks. All right, so we're at now 4 treasures out of 6. Each player will make one more choice, and then we will get this rolling.
6.
We need one more each.
Yeah, one more each.
Well, but we also added the treasure for killing somebody.
We're still fine.
We're staying at 6 though.
Oh, we're staying at 6.
Yeah. We didn't add an extra treasure to the pile. We just added an extra way to gain treasure.
I'm going to take Natural Forces Wristlet.
Incentivizing punching people. Because who doesn't like to punch people? Come on.
Right?
It's an athletic sport in an arena combat. Athletic, it's mixed magical arts. Come on.
Gotta love this one.
Draft the treasure cards. They're done. Each player places their mage and concentration track, which is their player board. We've done that already. We've got all of the little miniatures set up on the timeline and in the spot where they need to be on the board. And so everybody begins the game with 15 stamina. No, we're calling it stamina, not life, and 10 mana, and then begin turn 1, in which you will channel up to 20. So whenever you two are, whenever you're reactive, we can get ready to go. Yep.
All right.
Since Puddin has initiative, he gets to do the first thing.
Yeah.
Well, good luck in this game that I'm totally trying very hard to win.
He's gonna go after you, man.
All right. So I have.
I'm gonna kill him fire.
My first spell is going to be to summon this snow beast here.
Cool. What is a snow beast?
Well, it's this guy over here.
Yeah, show him the cool creature.
So let's bring this down. So you're gonna cast this.
Yep,
so the first thing,
it's gonna cost me 12 mana, right? So I have to spend 12. However, I am an ice mage, and that means that I can use up to, or I get a discount of 2 Or is it 1?
All right, so let me do this one.
Yeah, you
Ice
should.
Mage, in this case, each class provides a certain amount of discount for their spells. In this case, Ice provides 2 what we're calling symbols for now, which we may update terminology. So for every symbol that matches your class, you get a 2 mana discount. Because Snow Beast has a single, and you'll notice it in the upper right of the permanent card, and you'll notice it in the upper left of the creature card. Ice has a single ice. Snow Beast has a single ice symbol on it. The Ice Mage will get a 2 mana discount when casting it. So it costs 12 base, but in this case, the 2 mana discount makes it cost 10 mana for Puddnhead to cast this guy.
So the basic idea is that if you're an Ice Mage, you during spellbook construction, you probably want to choose Ice spells because you get a discount. You can go out.
Yep, you can go out of aspect,
but it'll cost you more mana to cast that spell.
It'll cost you more mana. And in this case, what happens when you cast a permanent?
So it's going to resolve to my concentration track, and that permanent is going to show up within 1 to 2 hexes of where I am, because it says range 1 to 2.
So in this case, since the Snow Beast is a creature and has an effect on the board, it will have a token, which is being placed right now. And that token is being placed within 2 hexes of the casting mage.
Yeah, I'll put that here. And I will also be putting its tracker on the map. Now, the tracker shows up at the AP level of the spell. So, because this cost me 4 action points to cast, the Snow Beast will show up
in the action slot 4. Yep, yeah. Very good.
So the action, so the creature is active. It's just in AP 4 for the round.
Yep. So it's not likely to be able to do much other than some of the actions we'll cover later.
Now, if I had done something else first and then cast Snow Beast, then we would have both shown up in action slot 5.
That is correct.
Heck yeah. So that is Spoon's action. So we're still in action timeline 0. So it's my turn.
Yep. And it's back over to Coshade
until 4.
Now Coshade thinks for the first time.
I have to think now. Oh no.
I did that because I need to read all these other spells.
Gives him time.
Let's see here.
And of note, it's because we have gone through a lot of iterations of spells, so sometimes we get a little mixed up as to what they might do. So we do know our game.
Okay.
There's just a lot to it sometimes. A lot of things to remember.
You know what? I'm just gonna mirror you. Why not? We're gonna summon the fire elemental. So I'm gonna spend 13 mana. So I'm going down to 7. Except I get a 4 mana discount.
Yeah, because he's level 2.
Because it's FF. And I'm going to get this guy over here. And let's see. Okay, so just looking at this card here. Normal means it only takes up 1 hex. We have kind of the token to show that. We'll go into like fast and slow and stuff. Basically, it like lets you move an extra tile.
But there are different sized creatures in this game. So
but there are larger creatures that take up 3. There are no smaller creatures that take up 0 or like 0.5. Nothing like that exists right now. But like, whatever. So let's see. This is going to go here on the concentration. And just so you know, if a creature does die, it says cooldown 1 on the card. It goes from your permanent to cooldown 1. So most likely you'll be able to cast it again next round.
Yep.
That's the whole point of cooldown 1 there. And let's say we're going to go here, and I need a token.
Oh, you have not been promoted.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't been re-promoted, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Thanks.
Got him. There you go.
Right.
You've been promoted again.
I have noticed that casting creatures can be good, but it's not always the best choice when it comes to what you do in this game.
Yep.
Turn 1. Because creatures are good because you need more actions, honestly.
Yep, there's a reason to do it, and there's a reason not. Like both, we're trying to make the strategic decisions impactful either direction.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right, so I'm going to use my Snow Beast next, He's going to spend 1 action to gain what we call a focus token. This
Yep,
basically
spend an action to focus.
saves the action point for next round.
Yep. What it does is gives you a 1 action discount on a future action when you spend
We'll show
it.
you what that does next turn.
Yep.
It's in the rulebook. We don't have it as a reference sheet, but are we all just taking focus tokens here? Because
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there will be a reference sheet on the mod sooner than later. But in this case, one of the actions you can take is a focus action, which does exactly as described a minute ago, which saves you an action point. So if you cast a 3 action spell, you can cast it for 2 next time when you spend the token.
yeah, it's really helpful for managing your timeline in terms of getting things done faster, stuff like that.
All right,
Yep, the
there are
timing
no
is
terrain. There are no terrain effects. There are no victory points.
So initiative. So it looks like I am going to take initiative. So we both have 0 cards in our cooldown. So it just passes to the other person.
If you have equal number of spells in your cooldown track, the initiative passes to whomever does not have it currently. So one of the things you can do strategically is to cast more spells so you can keep the initiative. However, sometimes just casting spells to cast them isn't always the greatest thing. So it's one of the other strategic decisions to come in to think about when making.
All right, I'm going to channel this. We have no upkeep. I think we are good to start.
We're back into the actions phase.
Okay, so we're at 0. Let's see here. Okay, so I have either my fire elemental or my mage. 4 actions for an attack.
Yeah, but look how big that attack is.
yeah, that's fair. So yeah, I hear you. I am going to take a move action, but I'm going to use my focus token to do it, right?
Okay, so for those watching, a movement action costs you 2 action points normally. He's going to spend a focus token to spend only 1 to do it, and because he's a normal profile mage, are you using a mage or your?
I'm using my elemental here.
So the elemental is also normal. Oh no, that one's fast.
Since he's
fast. Focus token for it.
Well, you can, but since he's fast, he can move 3 hexes per movement action taken.
Yep, and I am going to.
He only uses 1. Yep. So.
And do I want to leave? Do I want to leave a hex? You know what? Yeah, I do. Let's go ahead and just.
So another ability that the fire elemental has is at the bottom where whenever it takes a move action, it can distribute a fire terrain to the hex it just exited, and for each one that it does, it takes 1 damage. So fire elemental can burn itself out a little bit by dropping terrain. Sometimes it's a good trade-off, sometimes not. Depends on how well you use it, and it offers opportunity for counterplay.
All right, and to you, Puddin.
Well, that's interesting.
Now to look over my cards.
Now to learn what we've done. What have we done?
I know.
What's in the box? We haven't quite gotten there yet. Someone has to break an objective to ask that question.
I need more ice on the field here.
Yeah, that does sound like a good strategy.
It's the beginning of the game. Now's your time.
Yeah. The Ice Mage is one of those, like, if you can get terrain out there and surround yourself with it, it can do some damage.
Yeah, ice is terrifying, honestly. Like, ice freaks me out.
It's kiteable. Like, you can totally play around their positioning game, but it is dangerous if you get caught in it.
Yeah.
All right, I am actually going to use an attack spell.
Ooh.
From here?
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
All right, but
I'm going to use my focus token on this. I'm going to use Ice Slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is going to allow me to move 3 hexes.
So hang on a second. Do you want to pay the mana and all that stuff first?
Yeah. I'm just telling you why I'm using it. It's going to allow me to move 3 spaces and place an ice terrain in every spell, or every hex that I enter.
Yep.
Right?
Every hex that the spell enters is a place you can place ice terrain, and you're basically creating an ice slide like Frozone from Incredibles.
Right. So this is a 2 ice spell, so it's gonna discount 4 for me.
Yep.
So it's going to cost me 6.
It's going to cost you how much?
It's going to cost me 4.
4 mana for that spell.
I'm
Very
good
good.
at math.
Math is fun.
And I'm going to go into these 3 hexes here.
Yep.
1, 2,
Those
3
hexes, but also don't forget to spend your actions.
Right. The
On
actions
the
are always
actions
the last thing that
tracker.
you spend. Actually,
Yep.
I'm going to go through this hex.
Look
Go
at him
there.
skating down the line.
And then this spell will go into cooldown 3 because that's the blue 3. And
So-
I don't hit any creatures, so I'm not going to bother to roll dice.
So just to go over what exactly Puddn was doing here, a line spell, it's you basically choose a hex and you draw a line to it.
Yep.
And
That's
there's a little
gist of it.
indicator there, so it's 1 to 3 line. So Puddn chose 3, so then went 1, 2, 3, and so that's basically how a line spell kind of works.
Yep, and line spells are subject to like line of sight and intervening objects, something to keep in mind that wasn't relevant for this particular casting of it. But we can, when we come up with a situation later where a line spell would get blocked, we should probably show that as well.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I also want to talk about the Pierce 1.
Oh, yeah.
What that means is if I had targeted this hex over here, I would have moved through my Snow Beast, and the Snow Beast would have taken the damage listed on the card.
So you're allowed to go through one object in the line.
Right.
You're allowed to go
When you're
through
Pierce.
X number of objects if you have Pierce X. So in this case, Pierce 1 would mean you can go, the spell can travel through one object.
Yeah, so it says line 2 dice, Pierce 1. So you would have done 2 damage to that Snow Beast. If there was another creature that you went through, and sort of like, I guess you can't land another one. But, theoretically, if you pierce and hit another target, they receive another 2 dice.
Yep. And in this case, what happens is that the spell will travel there, so the ice terrain will travel there, but your mage would only travel up to adjacent to the ice beast, or the snow beast, for example, because you cannot pass through objects with other objects.
Yeah, objects can't take up the same zone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And just so you know, you just roll 2 dice for both things you do damage if you have that sort of piercing thing. Like area spells, you just roll once. It's just that sort of thing.
Oh,
yeah. Okay, so did you spend mana on this?
Yep, I did.
Okay, and I believe that costs you some actions as well.
Oh, yep. I use my focus token, so I only go up to 2.
There you go.
Yep. Good examples of using your focus tokens, boys.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about reactions that we haven't talked about? Or do we want to wait for that to come up later?
I'll
Okay,
get there.
cool. We'll come up to that. Come back to
I
that
actually
later.
have a reaction card this time.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and...
Yep. Coshade has to act with his mage because it is his turn to activate something, and then the slot 0 only had his mage. So
we're going to go right here.
What are you doing?
So I'm going to take 2 actions, and I'm going to move 2 right here, and that is going to be my action.
All right, so you're taking the move action, which costs you 2, and you moved up to the slot. So we got it.
Move 2, take a move action. Cool.
Yep. Your move action has been taken back to slot 0, which the Snow Beast is the only resident of at the moment. So Puddn, what are you going to do with the Snow Beast?
Snow Beast is going to throw a missile here. Using the first attack bar. It's going to cost 3 actions. But
Icy missile.
But I will use a focus token on it. So it only costs him 2 actions. And it's going to be 3 dice. And if I have any ice next to me, I will be able to put an ice down. If I have 2 ice next to me, I'll be able to put 2 ice down.
You want to cover count versus consume?
Well, okay, so here's our problem. I don't think we adjusted the top one, or does he get to put 3 ice down?
It should be adjusted, but
We need to adjust it.
I have to look at it again. Either way, cover it the rule for now.
Okay. This, if you look at Snow Beast, there are symbols for ice terrain there. If you look at Fire Elemental, there are symbols for fire terrain, but they have X's on them. The X means consume, which means in order to use that ability, you have to use up that terrain. So you remove it from the board. These count abilities on the Snow Beast don't have the X on it, which means you're just looking at what's near you. And near is defined as where you're standing or what's right adjacent to you. Within reach, to use a Major's term. So or D&D term, I guess, is also reach. So in this case, if I'm using Icy Missile, I can shoot something that's up to 3 spaces away with 3 dice. And if I, the Snow Beast, am standing next to 1 ice terrain, I will also get to put an ice terrain next to the target. If I'm standing next to 2 ice terrain, I will be able to put the 1 ice terrain for the first threshold and 2 ice terrain for the second threshold on there because they're additive. So and we should probably either make that 3 or make it place 1. But
Balancing and stuff will happen later. Yeah, we're just kind of talking.
So in this, the way to read this right now is that from the Snow Beast's position, since he's adjacent to 3 ice terrain, I will be able to roll 3 dice against this objective.
So you are next. So yeah, your Snow Beast is next to these 3.
So I'll be able to roll 3 dice.
3 because it's a range 1 to 3.
And then I'll be able to distribute terrain. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my 3 dice right here.
Right.
Oh.
And your damage.
And I got a 2. So that's going to be 2 damage to this. I also got 2 lightning bolt symbols, which count as terrain for the purposes of evaluating the ability that you used. Yep. So I didn't even need to be standing next to this terrain. I got the 2 threshold just with the dice. But I did 2 damage to the 5 damage objective, and I'll get to put 3 ice terrain down near the target. So I'll put this here and here and here.
And just in case you need a reference, we have on this reference sheet distribute the little arrow sign. It's consistent with what's on the little distribute arrow there in the Icy Missile attack. It just explains it all in terms of like kind of how
we're making sure to have reference cards for all the little icons for now, and at some point we'll go through and probably condense some of them and make them better. But this is where we are at the moment.
And that's going to cost you 3 actions to do that.
Yep, it cost me 2 actions because I used my focus token.
Yep.
So I'm done.
Yes.
All right, now we're on the next slot. Slot 0 is empty. What do we do now?
So now we're going to go to 1, which we do have a fire elemental here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a big mad. He's looking to use all of his actions, and he's gonna burst some fire.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So that costs him 4 action points to use. You can tell by the 4 right before the little time symbol there, the little hourglass.
So when you take a burst of fire, as you can see, it's range 0/0, and it has a little like area thing. Now the area thing, let's see, do we have a reference?
So real quick to cover how area works is that area is you choose a hex, and then for each area, so if it's area 1, like it is in this case.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it's area 2 in this case. You target your own hex, in this case 0/0, and then for each hex within 2 is also affected.
So you go, so targeting him, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Like every direction in that sort of sense. It's all going to take, what is that, 4 dice?
4 dice of damage. What do you got?
Let's see.
Roll some 4s. Roll 4 damage. You want to roll a whole bunch of 2s, don't you?
I do.
No.
Oh,
you didn't roll.
2,
That's
3.
a good number, though.
I got 5. Now, objectives only have 5 life on them. So this is going to be a... I can't...
I needed you to not roll a 2.
Something to note that we didn't earlier is that each objective starts with a 5 health buffer.
Yeah.
We call that the seal. When it's broken is when you get to choose your... when you get to choose from your treasure cards. And so now that Coshade has broken an objective, he controls it, will get a point at the end of the round if he keeps control of it, and gets to choose a treasure card to either keep as a treasure or to keep as a permanent, as a concentration slot if he wants to instead.
Ooh, so many good ones. We're gonna go ahead and choose this one.
All right.
And
And
so what you did is you picked up the whole deck and searched for one.
Yep. Picked up the deck of 6 that we drafted earlier, and chose one, and that goes to your spellbook if you don't want to use it. Or no, does it go to spellbook or does it go? Sorry, did I mess that up?
It goes into your concentration slot.
Yeah, that's right. It goes into the concentration slot, either as a concentration slot itself or as its effect that he chooses. Sorry, I messed that up.
Now, I do have a choice. I could make this a permanent slot instead of an active, like, Ancient Tree Branch Wand.
Yep.
But I don't have any other permanents, so I'm just going to keep it as an Ancient Tree Branch Wand. Now, when I do capture an objective, I do also gain a channel as well.
Yep. That's something we didn't mention earlier. So now that he has captured an objective, he channels 11 per turn.
All right, and let's see. So now we're done with cooldown 1. So why don't we move on to cooldown 2? And I happen to have initiative here. So maybe I'll just take my action now.
Yep. Though of note, he is also allowed to pass because he has fewer objects in that action slot. Not equal to, but fewer means he can pass if he desires. But he's not going to, so it's okay.
Nah, you know what? I'm not going to. We're going to go ahead and... Let's see. Ancient Tree Branch. We're going to go ahead and accelerate to this Firebolt wand.
Keyword. All right, so keyword, accelerate. Accelerate means you can pay the number in extra mana to make it so that this spell uses one less action point. So, normally this spell costs how many actions, Coshade?
Normally this spell would cost 2 actions.
And how many does it cost now?
It costs 1 action.
Very good. Math is fun.
So I'm going to go
you're going to pay a little bit extra mana to be able to do this a little bit faster.
So it's a 5 mana spell with 1 fire elemental, so it's -2, and then because of accelerate 2, so it's just going to cost me 5 at the end.
Yep. It's going to cost him a total of 5. He gets a 2 mana discount from the symbol, and then it pays 2 extra with accelerate. So, carry on.
And we're going to go ahead and hit the sealed objective here. And, yeah, we're just going to roll 2. Cool.
Yep. Roll them 2. Roll all the 2s.
And I got 1.
You got 1. So what happens with the lightning bolt, or the lightning symbol on the die? What happens? What are the effects?
Right, so it's a wound if I want to consume a fire, which I don't want to. I don't think we can wound objectives.
I don't know. Wounds.
Objectives do not
I don't
take
think.
wounds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we chose not to do that.
So
we messed around with it, but right now we're not doing that.
Currently, objectives cannot take wounds. Wound dice are effectively your dots for other games. If you're familiar with Mage Wars, they're very similar to how burns function. But in this case, he also has the option to consume from the die. So the die rolled a lightning bolt, and so he could use that as one of the consumption of the fire if he wants to. Does not want to, carries on, does 1 damage to this objective, and then puts it into which cooldown slot?
It is going to be cooldown 1 because that blue little square.
Very good.
And then over to you.
All right.
Puddin.
All right.
Now Puddin gets stacked with both of his objects because he's the only one in slot 2 anymore. So sometimes, I mean, it may be obvious now, but like sequencing can become a big deal in this game, and sequencing and positioning are actually relatively large parts of what strategy you want to think about and employ as you go along here.
So I am going to use Encroaching Ice.
Encroaching Ice. It's like we've seen this one before.
3.
Yep.
And I am adjacent, or I'm going to use my Ice Mage ability.
Ooh, what's that do?
When attacking or casting a spell, if your mage has 2 ice, choose another target.
2 ice
So
terrain
adjacent.
near them.
So I have
since
2 ice terrain
on
near
one
me.
and has one next to him, he gets
So
that
I will get
threshold.
to distribute an ice terrain here and an ice terrain here.
Very good. So
It's
it is
encroaching.
encroaching, and in this case, this is what we have colloquially termed a cantrip, because it is something that costs one action that you can do every turn. The cooldown is very short, so that you get it back. It's a relatively useful action, but not something that's so over the top like, oh, it's not flashy, but it is slowly encroaching and empowering the Ice Mage's strategy here.
Right. And then my Snow Beast needs to go. So my Snow Beast is actually going to spend 3 actions to Freezing Missile again. And we're going to go at this objective.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Want to hit those objectives?
Yep. I need to get 3 damage here.
No, you got 3 something.
No, yeah, that was not your best roll.
Nope. That's okay. We'll put
on the bright side, he does get to distribute some terrain, and
more.
I know we talked about it a little bit. So each terrain has traits, and the traits do something different. Lethal applies a wound. Difficult makes it harder to move through. O is on the flame ones is obscuring, so it can help block line of sight or make it so it's harder to hit through it. And fire also has lethal on it as well. So we'll cover those as they become relevant, but just a quick rundown.
That's all in the rulebook too.
Yep, and we will have that's another one of those reference cards I need to make. And
right, I'm gonna do this now. My mage.
Your mage.
Oh, it's yours. It's yours. Your action.
Yes.
He's got the initiative.
All right, we are going to. We're gonna fireball because I really want to hit this.
Out the fireball.
I'm gonna go ahead and just do it in a safe distance away from my mage, so he doesn't get blown up. So, like, I don't know. Like, how do you ping again?
So technically, you choose a target hex, and then from there you get an area around it.
And let's see. So we're gonna spend 8 mana. Wait, do I have the actions to do this? No, I don't. I'm not doing this.
You still have your
need to.
Token. Oh yeah,
you do have a focus.
That was my plan the whole time.
Yeah, it's almost like you planned it.
So we're gonna get 5 dice.
Yep, this is the fire class's big attack right now.
Yeah,
fireball.
If you notice, it's a cooldown 4.
Each class has a big massive attack that they can do, and this is fireballs.
So I'm doing it kind of a safe distance away because it is area 2. So, you know, it's sort of like one of those, like, don't hit yourself with it because you totally can.
Nobody's ever done that.
And we don't get it.
Well,
no, we do.
It's got one damage on it.
You're right.
So you're applying 4 damage. Also, read fireball. What's the thresholds on fireball?
Let's see. It is consume is wound plus distribute 2. So we are absolutely going to do that.
There you go.
And it's only listed once, by the way. So I don't think I can consume like more. But
no, you can.
Consume thresholds are as many as.
Is it as many? Yep. Gotcha.
Yep.
So I have.
It's 1 per. So for each fire terrain that you consume, you also get to do the effect.
Okay, so we have 2 lightning bolts, and we're going to consume 1 here.
So you can put 6 fire terrain in that area.
Yep, you're creating a lot of fire with a fireball. Yes, it's a very large effect, and yes, it is supposed to be like that, but sometimes big flashy effects can be both good and balanced, so we just have to find it. That's why we want more test data. But fireball's big for the fire mage. Remember, you can only distribute in the area that you targeted.
Yes.
So
area 2.
Keep that in mind, that's all.
Yeah.
And that's all 6, right?
I believe so. So this is going to go into cooldown 4.
Yep. So
I'm going to get a treasure card here.
Man.
All right. Coshade's stacking up the objectives and the treasure cards early.
We're going to go.
The table.
We're going to go here. We're going to get this overcharging wristlet.
For what's worth, we have seen the Ice Mage in previous playtests do a good job of spreading the ice around and then just hammering the other guys.
All the mages are
totally not. It's totally not over yet.
Yeah, it's totally.
All the mages are really strong in this game.
Yeah, they're all strong in their own different ways. It's a matter of playing to your strategy, and the Ice Mage starts off a little slow, but oh my god, can it throw out damage?
Yeah, if you let it get close to you. So we are at
Not even let.
Puddn's.
Sometimes it has options to be like, no, you're coming closer to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, my action. I'm going to spend my last 2 actions to cast an Ice Spike for 5 mana,
Ooh.
and I'm going to use the extra range mechanic.
Ooh,
All right,
okay.
explain it.
Yes.
Yep.
This is range 1 to 2, right? So I can only go 2 away from my mage. However, I'm going to target this, which is 3 away from my mage. In order to do that, I have to take disadvantage dice.
I think it's only
2 disadvantage dice.
For every extra hex.
Wait, are you going? Are you going to this one?
I'm going here first.
Oh, so it's only 2. Oh, are you doing the additional target thing?
Yeah, I'm going to do an additional target.
So.
Oh, you're gonna extend it with the additional target. Oh,
Yep.
interesting.
Yeah. We're covering a couple different things here.
Yeah.
So, first things first is disadvantage dice. Disadvantage dice are effectively the way that we have built a mechanic to make it so something seems like a harder thing to do. The Earth class does a lot of distributing of disadvantage dice. Basically, you're going to roll a number of dice before you roll the damage dice and subtract that many dice from your roll. So, in this case, it'll be 2.
Minimum.
There is no minimum, so you could blank a roll.
So why are you rolling 2?
Fewer.
I'm rolling 2 because I'm 1 range beyond my maximum.
Yep.
For every range
hex
beyond your maximum, you roll 2 disadvantage dice.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And what is the maximum you can extend it?
Yeah.
Up to the number of attack dice that you have.
So the attack dice base is how many?
So I cannot extend it again, right?
Right.
I
What's
couldn't go
the
to
attack
range
dice
4.
base in this case? Yeah.
2.
So 2 is the maximum you could extend this one, or by 1. So you can stack a maximum of 2 extra dice on this one.
Now I don't get to roll any dice on this, but as an ice mage, I am standing near 4 ice, which means that I can just do 4 damage with this spell.
Can you explain why that is?
Because the threshold number 1 is 2 damage, and I'm standing next to 1 ice terrain for that, and I'm standing next to 3 ice terrain, so the second threshold is also met, which means...
Yep, both thresholds are met, and so you get to do 4 damage off the swing.
So I just get to toggle this to neutral.
Yep.
And then I'm going to duplicate that over here, and I've already rolled my dice.
The dice don't get rolled multiple times.
I'm copying the effect, and I'm going to do that over here. And that's going to be 4 damage over here, which is going to break me an objective.
So this is a good example of what we were just talking about, where the Ice Mage can go from 0 to 60, like, oh god, that's a ton of damage.
Yeah.
But to do so, he had to position himself in the middle of all of this ice that he had to lay down and take time to do. So be aware if you are playing against the Ice Mage that if they start building up a lot of ice, you want to find ways to destroy the ice or to use it. So the Fire Mage in particular is well suited against that, because the Fire Mage's class ability, Coach, if you want to highlight that in a second here, allows you to consume any terrain at a worse rate to theoretically fuel your fire. Other ways to do it are, it costs 2 mana. For like, if you're playing a spell that lets you distribute terrain, it costs 2 mana to overwrite. So for each hex, it will cost you 2 extra mana to overwrite. But it might be worth it against an Ice Mage who's dropping ice everywhere.
It's definitely one of those, like, if you've been watching terrain, like, what the hell is terrain really used for? Like, stuff like this.
That.
Like, these combos are crazy.
Yeah, specifically that.
That is a crazy, yeah, exactly.
The Ice Mage wants to set up ice around him and then just stack and crack.
All right, so I believe we are good now. Is that right?
Yep.
So let's see. Going on to initiative, you have 3 cards in your cooldown, so you'll gain the initiative versus my 2 cards in cooldown.
Wait, we're not on initiative yet. You skipped 1 step.
Oh yeah, we're at the end step. My bad.
No, you're good.
So each of us is going to get 1 point.
Yep. So victory points. Boom.
Yep.
1-1.
So what happens after you score?
Flip over.
Very good. Flip those over to the new side.
If we control these by the end of the next one, then
Then you get 2 points. So we each have 1 point now.
My bad.
No, you're good. What happens after that? We're back onto initiative.
Yep. So initiative moved, and then we have upkeep. So there's no upkeep costs right now. There's no effects going on right now. If somebody had wound dice, this is when they would roll.
Yep.
Right.
Or if you're standing on lethal terrain. Or no, you get that in end step, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Sorry, my fault. That's
And
changed.
so now we're going to decrement cooldown. So all these, and I would recommend starting with slot 1, just so that you don't make a mistake.
Don't overlap.
Right.
Yep. So slot 1 goes back to your hand. Everything
we should
else
channel,
goes.
but I'm just gonna channel now.
No.
Yep. Go ahead and channel. Don't forget that each of you now controls an objective, so you will channel 1 extra. So you're channeling to be 11. What happens after channeling?
We just did upkeep, so
Yep.
Very
good.
Reset,
So upkeep.
reset timeline.
Yep. I'm just spelling it out so that we
oh yeah, you're good. You're good.
are helping people learn as we go.
There's also this trash container over here. So
Yep. The black hole is good for getting rid of extra crap.
I love this black hole. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Boop. It's gone.
See ya.
It's fun. Anyway, so I believe it is now Puddn's initiative.
Yep.
Which I assume with thinking.
That never happens. All right, Puddin. What considerations are you making right now?
Well, so at this point, I'm looking at my Snow Beast positioning, and he is not as useful right now as I want him to be. So I need to find a way to get him somewhere useful. And it might just be easy to take a move action right here. And
That's
gonna
fair.
cost him 2.
Yep, and he's still in a dangerous spot because he's surrounded by
I know,
terrain.
right?
So much around it. Slowly encroaching ice.
Encroaching eyes.
Okay, the fire mage has tools to deal with that.
All right, we are going to.
What's in the box?
I know, right? I'm gonna cast Explosion here.
Ooh, what's that do?
So we're gonna target my fire elemental here, and we're gonna push him to. Do I want 2? Maybe I just want 1. Do I have to push him 2? Yeah, we'll
Yes.
just,
So you have to push him
we'll
too,
push him.
and you can push him further if you want to consume, but you have nothing in range.
It's kind of a movement spell for him. So we're just
Yes.
gonna. So we're gonna spend 1 action.
So the fire mage's movement spell also does some damage to whatever it is. So it could be used both offensively and defensively. Like in this case, it seems to be defensive. But
And let's see, he's gonna gain a wound die. And that is my action.
That moved you 1. Okay.
And it is your turn.
Let's back up a second. I want to talk about reaction windows.
okay,
Sure.
That okay?
go ahead, do it. What do you got?
Talk about whatever you want.
I need to actually pull the rules up because I can't remember this.
Do we actually have reaction spells in the?
Nothing is considered a reaction spell. It's anything that costs 1 action point can be used as a reaction spell. So in this case, the spell you just used, you could theoretically have done using your reaction.
Yeah.
And then acted with your mage.
Oh, we don't have to back up. It's fine.
Yep.
So this is
We don't
what
have to
I'm
back up
going
at
to
all.
do.
Hang on a second, I'll be right back.
Yep. So here's an example of using that. I think Puddin's going to go ahead and cover that. Maybe.
Yeah. Let's do this.
I don't know how my cat got in here, but my cat was in here. All right.
I'm going to use my reaction marker
All right. Yeah.
to do something on priority for you Mage Wars players. Okay.
Yep, is effectively on priority for those familiar with Mage Wars. Otherwise, it is as before an action that you take.
Right, before or after an action.
Oh yeah, before or after. Thanks.
So I'm going to give my mage hastening terrain. What that means is that all ice terrain, according as my mage evaluates it, now is free to move on.
Yep, it is literally costing you 0 movement points to move across a hastening terrain. So he's using this prior to moving with his reaction token. That costs him 1 action, and then he will take a move action to basically glide across the whole ice. So it's a
Right.
little bit action intensive, but it can get you in a position that wouldn't otherwise be available.
And I will go.
Is this a ritual?
Let's see. You have
Right.
area
No,
2,
it's
right?
charm.
It's charm. Yeah.
What's your question, Puddin?
He has area 2 on his attack.
The
That
fire
is-
elemental does,
that
yes.
is correct. Yeah.
You can get this thing. So we're gonna go here.
No.
the shock, the horror.
All right, and then that's my action.
All right. Well, my elemental was pushed and wounded. So we're going to go ahead and just burst him out. Taking 4 actions here. Let's see here. 4 dice. There's no way to enhance that, right? No. Okay. Let's go. So I have a few targets here, and that is the objective, which takes 4 damage. And it looks like I think your mage takes.
Nope.
No.
I am not.
And then let's go
specifically
ahead.
did not go in range of that.
And let's
Didn't wanna get in
see.
range of
We
the
are going
fire.
to. Let's see. I think I can distribute here, right?
What's your threshold say?
Let's see. Consume 1. So
If you gain a wound and distribute, yeah.
yeah, we're gonna do that.
So you can also instead, if you want to do more damage, you can consume 2 fire to do a damage. Like, which would get you that.
Oh yeah, that second
objective.
one. I always get the
consume
blood
it.
drop. That means damage. I always forget that.
Blood drop is damage.
We're gonna 100% do that. So we rolled 1 lightning, and we're gonna consume this one. So we're gonna deal a 5 to this and flip it over.
I gotcha.
Thanks. And then I'm not done. I want to distribute some stuff. Yeah, we're gonna go this. So we will be taking a wound and equals wound and distribute 2, right? So my fire elemental takes a wound. Is that right?
Again, sorry.
The consume fire equals wound. Like that means your fire elemental takes a wound. Is that right?
No, it's immune to its burst fire attack.
Oh,
Anybody
no.
else would take a wound.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to distribute 2, regardless.
Okay, so you're consuming a total of 3 to get
Yeah.
the damage and distribute 2 more.
Yep. And I'm going to go and replace this one. And now, whenever you replace a terrain, it costs 2 mana. We haven't done it yet. So since I replaced one of the ice with a fire, it's just going to cost me 2, and we're going to make it up to 3. Is that right? I do everything right there. So I rolled 1 lightning,
Everything looks
consumed
correct to me.
2. So that's a total of 3. So I did 1 extra damage, and then consumed 1, and got the 2 distribute. Cool.
Yep.
All right, and that's my action. Oh, it's still my turn.
Yep.
Good news.
What is going on here?
What are you doing?
I'm just gathering you guys. When I hit your
Like,
board.
get out of here! Don't touch my stuff.
How dare you? Okay, we're going to take a move action with my mage. And we're going to go ahead, since I have Boots of Speed, move 3 here. And,
All right,
that's
Boots
my
of
turn.
Speed make your mage have the fast trait. So, yeah, every move action is 3.
Technically, it's better than fast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it doesn't. That one doesn't give him fast. It just gives him extra hex, right?
Yeah, it's an extra movement.
Yeah.
So if you run, you go 4 instead of 3. And
Yeah.
if you move, you
Yep.
just go 3.
Yep.
And
My fault.
difficult terrain is not as much of a deal for you.
So if you find a way to get fast, you can take a normal move action to move forward. It's crazy.
Yep. It's really good.
All right,
that's
now
what
it's
the Boots of Speed
my
was supposed to
Snow
do.
Beast turn, and I'm gonna throw an icy missile at your mage.
Cool.
Pew pew.
Now I am standing in obscure terrain. Does that matter?
It does.
Okay, so I will
it's
have to roll 2 fewer dice.
It's counted
So I
from.
have to roll
I think
2
it's 1
disadvantage dice.
It's 1 disadvantage die.
No, it's beyond. Oh, that's right. 1 per hex. 1 per
1
hex.
per obscured hex that the spell or the attack enters, and since you're entering the target hex.
All right, I'm rolling this. Nothing.
Nothing. He got a
obscuring
good shot.
Doesn't work.
I thought my
obscuring
blinding
just-
movements would stop you.
Why didn't it?
I don't actually care about doing damage to your mage right now.
Yeah, you're looking to distribute. Is that it?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
2
so
damage to the
2
mage.
damage. And
What else
I'm
happens?
going to put 3 ice terrain down adjacent to the target. This is going to be here and here, and I'm going to put this under you.
Yeah, it's putting a lethal terrain down.
That means I'll take damage.
Well, you can move.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's
You
either
can
forcing you to move or
move.
take damage, though. So it's a pretty good trade-off, I'd say.
And I need to spend 2 mana to replace that terrain, so I did.
All right. And that put your Snow Beast into slot 5, so Snow Beast is done for the round.
Yep.
What else we got? Who has the initiative?
Coshade has, or I have initiative,
sorry.
so I have to go next.
Yep.
Yep, because I think that was from a different slot.
See what you got.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
I'm going to spend
No idea what I'm on.
encroaching ice again,
All right.
and that's going to be 1 action, and that's going to give me. So it's going to cost me 5 mana total to replace that terrain. And
It is fun to see the competing strategies at work here.
I know, right?
all right, there we go. Yours.
Yeah. Well, I guess I will. Yeah, I guess I'll cast a firebolt here, and I spend. Let's see. I want to extend the range by 1. Is that a good idea? That could be a terrible idea.
Could be good, could be bad. Depends how badly you roll.
You know what? We're gonna go.
how
We're gonna
lucky
go
you're
fan
feeling.
the flames here.
Fan the Flames, also a very good one.
So that is 2 fires. It's gonna cost me 4. And this is a ritual spell.
Ooh, yeah, explain rituals.
Now rituals. Basically, what rituals do is they go into your cooldown and they have some sort of effect that's long lasting. And as long as the spell is in your cooldown, the spell's effect will always be happening. So, for instance, Fan the Flames during upkeep. So, when we reset, we're in the upkeep phase. I'm going to be able to place 5 fire terrain adjacent to a fire terrain. And I spend 2 mana. So, it's a little expensive in the long run, but it helps me get a bunch of fire tokens out and hopefully try to mitigate some sort of like making Puddin spend more mana to actually move out of
It's going to be expensive, but it does help encroach on the ice, encroach back. And in this case, the limitation is that you have to place the fire terrain adjacent to another fire terrain. So you can't just place it everywhere, but you do have to.
Yeah, it's basically flame spreading.
Yeah, you do have to have a fire to start with in the first place.
And let's see, it's now my Fire Elemental's turn. He's going to gain a focus.
Okay. I am also going to gain a focus.
Nice.
Alrighty, so we are at the victory points, or terrain effects first. So let's see, I
terrain effect
am
first?
in lethal,
Yeah.
so I am going to take
gain a wound die.
Or is it a wound
you're
die?
Gonna, you're going to gain a wound
Yeah,
die.
it's wound.
Yep.
Is that what lethal is?
There you go.
Okay.
You can
Lethal
have
is take a wound die.
So then we're going to gain victory points, so I'm going to gain 3 here.
Yep, Coshade gains 3, Puddnhead gains 2, and then the one that Coshade currently controls with a 1 flips to a 2.
Yep.
And then let's see, we're going to do initiative here. So you have 4 and I have 3. So that means you are going to keep initiative.
Yep.
And then I will get my reaction token back. And you have 2 wound dice to roll.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll fire elementals. Nothing.
Blank, and of note, you only ever roll 1 die at any one time. However, the wound die also has a +1. So it basically replaces itself. So that die you just rolled would go away, but it would get a new one, so you're effectively stuck at 1.
Right.
Coshade, you just gave yourself a health. You should probably take a damage instead.
I bet.
You're good. So yeah, that wound die will stick around. There's a 50% chance of it sticking around.
You need to channel 12.
All right, and I believe I have a fan the flames to decide.
Oh yeah.
Well.
Did you do the cooldown and decrements already?
No, not yet. He has to resolve his effects first.
Oh yeah, resolve effects. Thanks.
Okay, so I have up to 5.
I know my game. It's fine.
Let's see.
The coffee's starting to kick in.
Within 5. So can I place one and then place another one next to it?
Yeah, you can string it if you'd like. Yes.
I can. Okay.
Yes. You just have to make sure that it's always adjacent to another fire terrain.
Let's see. So I'm going to spend 2 mana, 4 mana, 6 mana. 1, 2, 3.
And you can start to see where the limitation's coming in.
8 mana.
It costs a lot of mana. But it is very good for enabling a lot of interesting plays. So.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 10 mana.
That's a lot of mana.
10 mana.
A relatively large effect too. Because now there's fire and the ice will have to compete with it.
Right. And you know, the idea that I have here is if Puddin wants to replace it, it's going to cost mana. So it's like a 1-for-1 kind of thing. And I believe we're done with that. So let's go ahead and decrement cooldowns.
Very good. The puzzle of sequencing versus controlling the board versus attacking the mage is one of my favorite parts of what's been going on with this one.
Yeah, it's really fun to try to like figure it out.
Out puzzle.
Yeah, sequencing is a very interesting thing with this game for sure. Okay, and I think we are done. Yep. So I believe it's on you.
Who's got that initiative?
That would be Puddin.
Me.
Hit it.
Interesting.
What is interesting, Puddin?
I'm reading the spells that I have, and I want to try and remember what the best thing to do here is.
Yeah. What considerations are you thinking about?
Well, I have a few options here. I'm behind on the points game right now, so I can either try and take another objective or secure the middle objective. However, I can also turn off all of his things by killing his mage. And that sounds pretty nice. I could also get rid of this thing, potentially, with my mage's actions, because he's going to have to move in order to do anything else this turn. And that means that he's not going to be able to do his attack.
Yeah, so you could try to take advantage of the high damage output that the Ice Mage can put out to try to eliminate the Fire
Right.
Elemental from contention here.
Right. So I don't know exactly what I want to do. I might want to move this guy so that he doesn't take wound dice, or I might just say, heck with it, I'm gonna do all the damage I can do with this guy right now, because I can always cast him again next time. So because he has a 4 damage attack, and he is all set up for it, and I can make the source of that attack something within 2. I can bypass this obscured in order to stab him real hard, and I think that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
So Snow Beast is going to use 4 actions.
Yep, Snow Beast is using
on
which one's the Ice Spike? Or Icicle Spike?
Yep, and so it says when making its Icicle Spike attack, Snow Beast may source the attack from any ice terrain within 2.
Yep. And source is the keyword that means start from, basically.
Yep. And
pick
I have
pick a terrain and start there.
Consume that terrain. So this terrain goes away.
Now, when it comes to adjacency, in terms of your effects, is it from your Snow Beast or the source?
It's from where my Snow Beast is.
Yeah. It should be from the source.
No, it's from the source. Okay.
Yep, it should be from the source.
Just making sure.
I am also adjacent to 3.
Yep. The source is adjacent to 3. The Snow Beast is adjacent to 3. But either way, because the Air Mage gets funky with it, it's from the source.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing that up now.
From the source.
Yep.
Very good. From the source. So I've sourced it from here, which means, that I will get these 3 ice terrain will affect my attack.
Yep. All right, roll them dice.
Oof.
That is gonna be
6 damage. Is that what we're looking at?
6 damage. Yep.
All right.
6 total damage. So that's 2 from the dice and 4 from the 2 counting thresholds that the Snow Beast can trigger.
Yeah. So Icicle Spike. Yeah.
Triggers both of them because it's next to 3 total, which triggers both thresholds.
And that is something to point out, is that Koshade's consume effects have no upper limit, but these count effects have an upper limit. I can't, just because I rolled 2 symbols doesn't mean I have 5 symbols and I can do the first one extra times, right?
And they are balanced, intended to be balanced accordingly. We're still working through that, obviously, but that was a pretty high damage attack that Coshade is now in actually like. Oh
yeah,
God,
I've got freaking six life left. I'm hurting.
Yeah,
so
he's got a wound die on him.
He can stick around and try and turn this off, but then he's going to take another hit, right?
Yep.
Or he can run away, but then I have free reign of the middle. So that is why I chose to do that.
Okay.
This is where the strength of the Ice Mage shows up, is surrounded by ice, trying to make sure.
My house.
Puddnhead learned from me doing that to him once.
I was totally not playing that Earth Mage well either.
You walked right into the ice, and I'm like, oh, hi.
The ability.
Okay, well, I am definitely feeling the hurt right now.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have an answer.
This Ice Mage ability is only me, right? Snow Beast can't do this.
That is correct. It is only your mage.
Just making sure. That's what I thought. Because that would be too strong.
It is good to ask, but no, it's only.
Now it'd have to be an additional target. Can you choose the same target twice?
I mean, good question. It is not written on there, but it's supposed to be a different target.
Okay.
The rule as intended is a different target.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay, well, we are going to use our focus token, take a normal action, and we're going to go ahead and move 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, specifically to get 2 fire terrain down.
Hold on.
And we make a note.
This is difficult terrain.
Oh, yeah.
Which means that it's going to reduce your movement.
Right.
To 2.
You know what?
You can't actually move into that one.
Yeah.
But you can move south by 1 and still get the same effect. Or north by 1.
I might want to change.
Or, sorry, up or down. I guess north
right,
and south don't have any effect based on your orientation in this game. But
yeah, you know what? We're just going to go. We're going to go here then.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead
and manner to override this one.
Do this. Yeah, we
will. And he's going to take a damage in the process.
And we'll be taking a damage. And that's my action.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna try and hit both of my dudes.
What? What? Why would he do that?
He's gonna burst of fire.
Dude, like the fire elemental's a lot of fun. Like positioning.
He
that guy's
is,
tough, but
yeah.
he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's really enjoyable.
It's a little bit hard sometimes to get him into the right position, but
All right, now my mage has to go.
your mage has to go.
More. I think this is gonna be better. All right. So my mage is gonna spend 1 action and a focus on Icicle Spike.
Ooh.
As a bike.
And we are going to attack the fire elemental, and we're going to split it to the objective.
Yep.
So I get 2 dice because I'm not out of range anymore. That is 3 damage plus 4 damage is 7 damage.
Cool. So that is going to be you take the
And-
objective.
Yep, I will take the objective.
Hey, the
And I
objective
get to
broke.
distribute ice terrain adjacent to the target.
Terrain to distribute and the treasure card to draft.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we'll put this right underneath your guy.
Yep.
Okay, and that is going to cost me 5 mana. Yes. And that's the actions. And now I need to figure out which one of these I want.
All right.
I'm going to use this as a permanent slot.
Ooh. Nice. So there is no effect of that treasure card, but we could be seeing another creature come out. Or something else. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and just explode, burst of fire, this fire elemental. That's what he's here for. So let's see, I have 3 targets, I believe. And that is your mage, your snow beast, and this objective here.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and roll 4 dice. And I can consume after, right? Like, I don't have to consume now.
You consume after.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. And I got 2. And then 2 fire.
Right.
So let's go ahead and objective. And so Snow Beast takes 2. And let's
Got
see.
it.
So we are going to. So an extra damage to you and the Snow Beast because of the
Okay.
double consume that I got here. And yeah, we're gonna also consume this fire here to do wounds and also distribute 2 fire.
Nice.
So we're
Consume to distribute.
Yeah, right.
It's like
So
it's
we're gonna
consuming the fire to
pay.
blow up.
Right, we're gonna pay 2 mana and make this obscured. Oop. And that's my action.
Mhm. Okay, you're a mage. You couldn't do that. You had to use your mage first.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh.
And you were in slot 1. so
Oh
was
no, I
gonna
thought it was my
for you.
fire elementals. Oh geez, I totally messed that up. Well,
Well,
crap.
the good news to show that sometimes happens.
My bad. I was just too
Almost
excited
cool.
to do that move.
Yeah, it was almost cool.
All right, I'm gonna. Jeez, we're gonna go ahead and just move my mage, and we can, depending on what you do, probably reverse what happens to your mage.
Control Z.
Control Z. My bad.
How dare
Alright.
you? How dare you be excited to try
Um,
something? That is the one. I guess one of the things that like you have to start planning. for.
Yeah, Yeah.
it takes some adjustment time. Is the sequencing like that because of the order of the timing of the actions you've taken previously, which is really fun puzzle to solve a lot of times.
Hmm. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna cast endothermic reaction
Cool. What's that do?
at your fire elemental.
All right, so
Cool.
he's
What's
probably
that
gonna
do?
die. Is that what's happening
Yeah.
here?
So it's gonna give me 1 health. It's gonna prevent the fire elemental from moving, and it is gonna do 2 extra damage. Plus, if I roll 4 damage, I'll get.
All right, let's see what you
So
roll.
why do you get 1 health? Why do you get 1 stamina? What's
Because
what's
it says
the?
drain.
Because why?
Drain.
Because it's
Drain.
drain. It's drain is a keyword. Yes. Very good. Drain
You
is a
know,
keyword that says
you can
effectively
actually
life drain.
explain this. You don't have to be. I might end up killing you. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's leave the roll.
Yeah, it's another big ice attack
No,
spell.
One
I will
short.
be 1 short,
Yeah.
so I don't have to reverse everything. Yay!
It's still quite a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the Ice Mage is continuing to prove that it is a killer, as
Yeah, I
opposed to like a
know.
controller.
Ice Mage is crazy.
It's really good,
Yeah,
but it's also like
unfortunately, I'm gonna
you can
lose
show that you can
my
kite.
objectives right now.
Yeah. So I'm saying like there's some
So,
trade-offs here, and they're kind of fun to play.
This is not good. It's gonna be 5-1.
I'm sure it's fine.
All right. I believe it is my turn here.
Yep.
We're gonna cast the Firebolt.
Pew pew.
For 2.
This is the Fire Mage's basically cantrip spell.
Yeah, right. And we're gonna go ahead and consume, even though I can't really do anything. We're gonna go ahead and consume the 2 ice because that's my mage ability. When I do this as well, so let's see. I'm gonna.
So what does the mage ability say? It says
Right.
you can consume. Just show it on the screen so we can make sure
So
everybody
the
knows
Fire
it.
Mage basically you can consume twice the amount of other terrain that's non-fire in order to get the thing of it. So the fact is it's free, and I want to start getting rid of ice terrain. So I have a ability of 1 consume fire for wound. Granted, this target that I'm having the objective here can't actually take a wound, but I would rather still use it just so I can consume it.
Yep.
All right, and I do have the overcharging wristlet, so we're gonna go ahead and roll 3 dice here.
There you go.
And let's roll it.
Clearly, I
I
needed
do
that
get
one.
it.
All right, that objective has been toggled. So we're showing the strength of the Fire Mage in this matchup is that the Fire Mage does a good job of taking and messing with the objective game, whereas the Ice Mage in this particular matchup wants to probably try to be the killer and hunt down the other mage so they can get the advantage that way.
Yeah.
And I believe it's on you.
I will focus.
Okay, I'm gonna focus as well.
Focus.
Cool. All right, so end steps. So terrain effects. I don't believe your
My creature gets another wound.
Snow Beast takes a wound. Otherwise, I think that's that. Victory points. So 2, so we have 5. And flip this to a 2, and I think we're on to initiative. So let's see, I've got 4, and you've got 4, so I'll be taking initiative. It just switches. And channeling. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And yeah, so let's see, we're doing wound dice. Is that what we're doing now? Or pay costs? I don't know if my do I pay the cost of Fan the Flames now? I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to use Fan the Flame.
I do. All right, I'm gonna roll the wound dice on my Mage. Get that one still. Love it.
Got that 1+. I think you just gave yourself a life though.
Am I doing that again? Wait, did I? Was
You
that?
should be at 5.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I don't know why I keep doing that.
Because it says +1, so you click the +1 button.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's like 1 more damage, and then like because the die says +1. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and fan the flames here. So let's go ahead and let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And how much mana is that costing you?
8.
Yep. It's quite a bit.
Okay, and we'll do. We'll just do this one here. We'll spend 10. All right, and cooldown decrement.
All right.
And I
Puddin
think-
keeps the initiative again.
No, I got it.
I
I got
don't.
it.
You got it.
Am I just miscounting how many are on there?
Yes,
Probably.
4.
We switched over.
No, you're good. I just didn't.
Yeah.
There was one hidden from my view. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I got you. All right. Well, I'm a little scared for my life.
Seems fair.
So let's
But you do have some pretty good objectives.
think about yeah, right. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use the fire elemental because he's probably gonna die. Well, because if I die, he sticks around though.
Currently, yes. He sticks around because you control at least one objective.
Yeah.
And for every objective you control, a permanent stays on the field, though it does go to the final,
Yeah.
what do you call that? The timeline slot.
We're just gonna blow up, just because I'd rather just do the damage now and worry about it later. Is it a
That
mistake?
works.
Maybe.
We're going to find out. That's why we practice.
All right, hitting a bunch of targets here. Let's go ahead and do it.
That was a pretty good roll,
So we have 4 damage, and I am going to be consuming 2 to get that 3. I'm sorry, yeah, 3 for threshold. Well,
So that's for total
take a
or
look.
what?
So 4. Let me actually do the math here. So you're at 5 damage.
Yeah.
So I got 1 lightning. So I'm going to consume 1 to deal another 1 to kill your snow beast. And you have 12 life. I'm not going to be able to kill you. So we're going to consume another 1 to deal a wound and then distribute 2.
So 5 damage and a wound.
5 damage and a wound.
Okay.
And I'm going to pay 2 mana, and I'm just going to replace the difficult on you with a lethal.
Okay.
Okay. So Snow Beast dies. You're at 7 life. That's my turn. Or my action.
Okay. Now I have to go.
Fire Elemental.
That I'm back now.
Yo. So Fire Elemental was bursting some fire.
Fire burst. What happened after that?
Puddin is debating.
Ooh, what's he debating between?
I don't know.
Why do I have to explain all the choices?
Because you're the one making them.
I explained my choices.
That seems like a better choice. I'm going to spend 3 actions on Freezing Storm. It's going to cost me 8.
Area 3. Oh my goodness.
That's going to cost me 6.
Oh, I feel like my fire elemental's about to die here.
What gives you that impression?
He freezes. Think about a fire
And I'm
elemental
gonna
freezing.
do I'm
Sounds
gonna
horrible.
do 4 damage to everything in area 3.
Okay, so that's
Ooh,
gonna take the
that's a big one.
objective.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna kill the fire elemental.
Oh, that's neutralizing the objective, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then I get to distribute a terrain, so I will put a.
That's a big deal.
He becomes a difficult ice terrain. Fire elemental. I imagine he's just like
frozen in
he's
place
frozen in
walking
ice.
away,
Like
yeah.
you gotta just walk around, okay? Like
Oh, I just needed to flip to 2 at the end of the
yeah,
last round.
Okay, so fire elemental goes to cool on
Yeah, I think.
1 because it just
Yep.
died.
Yep. So you're probably gonna keep initiative this turn.
Yep, that is another
And your
benefit.
snow beast should
Slight
be at
benefit to getting your stuff.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Maybe you won't keep it.
Oh, Snowbeast dead too, yeah.
It's a round of dying.
False alarm. Yeah. Lots of killing going on.
This is a weird thing right now. Okay, so it's my turn.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and just shoot another arrow at the target here. So 3 mana.
Which target?
We're gonna go ahead and hit
One
the
sector.
only one.
You have
objective.
you have a disadvantage for going through the obscured terrain.
Oh, that's right. So let's see. I would normally roll 2 plus 1.
So roll
So I'd
one
roll
disadvantage
1.
to see.
No, 1 disadvantage die first.
Oh, yeah. I already assume I'm getting 2. Cool.
So 1 die.
Yep, all you need to do is the damage.
Got it!
There it is. Ping! Turns on that objective.
This game could not be going any worse.
I don't know. I mean, you could. I guess if you went after him, you could probably kill the mage. But yeah,
I think the fire elemental was a big influence there.
Yeah,
I
I
think it
needed
will be.
to kill that thing and not let you get another shot off, but it
Yeah.
just didn't happen.
So this goes into cooldown 1, and it cost me 2 actions, and now it is your turn.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's just kidding. But damn, I was gonna plan. Yeah. We're gonna run.
Nice.
Okay.
So you're going to use the sprint action, which gives you 1 extra hex.
Yep. So I'm gonna go 1,
top of
2,
your normal
3,
movement.
4, and I'm going 4 because I have boots of speed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's my turn.
Alrighty. And you have how many spells over here? 4?
5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5.
5. And I have 4. Means you would keep initiative, so I actually need to do this. I'm gonna use my focus token. Oh, come on.
You can lock it.
And that's, yeah, I could. Just didn't. And I'm gonna ice slide.
Ooh, love that.
And I have extra range on my line spells.
Look at this. Oh, I love this.
2, 3, 4 over here.
Yep.
And I'm gonna distribute. I'm just basically gonna pay full price for this because I'm gonna distribute 2 terrain.
Yep.
Into these fireplaces.
This is getting dangerous.
So we'll do this, and this, and this, and this, and this.
Okay. And I believe that's it. And did you say you used your focus token here?
Yep, I used that.
Okay. So, terrain effects. I don't think it matters for either of us. Gain victory points. So I'm gonna get 5e2. Oh, that's just why. Oh my God.
Tabletop Simulator, everybody.
You gotta love it.
All right.
Okay, so initiative. So you have 5 and I have 5. Is that right? So you're gonna gain initiative.
Yep.
And channeling. I'm gonna gain 13.
And you're gonna roll wound dice.
And a wound die. Oh, I got another one.
You got 8 damage, but it goes away. Unlike Puddin switch stick around.
Yeah, this is bad news.
I did actually take damage. And before we do decrement cooldowns, I am going to place some terrain. Because I get one more opportunity of that.
Yep, one more before it goes away.
So 2, 4, 6. 6, 10, because I'm replacing one. And we're going to do this one too. For a total of 12.
All right, I'm going to try this. I have to do this first.
I actually don't think Firebolt can kill him right now.
Crouching Ice.
Probably not. The wound might kill.
The way Coshade's been playing, it will kill me. So I
appreciate it.
I'm
top 3 players in the game right now. Just saying.
Easily.
And that's going to allow me to.
Ooh, okay. Love this.
This is gonna be my initial. I'm gonna use my reaction token
Yeah.
to do this before I act.
This is great.
Yep.
Okay. And I don't have a focus token, so I'm gonna try and use.
This costs you 3 mana.
Yep, I did that, and I have to replace this one. So it's gonna cost me 2 more. And we'll put that there, I guess. And then I can choose another target, which is going to be this one.
It's going to cost you another 4. Or 2.
It's going to cost me, yep, another 2.
It's a 4 total.
It's not laying flat. There we go. All right, and then for my main action, to roll 4 damage.
And I'm still in an obscuring terrain too.
Yes, I know. I couldn't reach that one.
Go.
Oh, I have this archer's wristlet, so I'm going to do this one.
Nice.
Oh my goodness! I think let's see what you get. Disadvantage.
5. And I need to roll 1 disadvantage die for obscuring.
This is big. Okay.
Only 1.
Okay. It's very possible.
3 dice.
Oh no! You have to get 2 damage on this.
Yeah, I have to get 2 damage on 3 dice. Hopefully this works.
Oh, you got it. Very nice.
All right.
All right.
So,
I have reevaluated Encroaching Ice. It is incredible.
It is.
It's almost like it's almost like the Fan of Flames of Ice.
It was very much designed to be a counterpart to that. Yes. It's a little more targeted.
I just have to use an action on it every time.
Yeah, it's a little more targeted, and it's a little, again, like we said in the beginning, the Ice Mage is a little bit more action intensive or slow in general that you have to deal with. But, like, the amount of damage it can put out.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you use your reaction where I use actions to get.
I had to use,
Yeah. So overall, it's a different cost.
All right, so Mage Death
strategy there.
So Mage Death.
I gain 1 health for that because it has drain 1.
Yep, and then we're back on the Mage Death.
Okay, so Shark, do you want to explain Mage Death?
Sure. So technically, it's not death; it's actually being knocked out.
Exhaustion.
You will, exhaustion, however you want to look at it. You will start by moving your actions token over to the 5.
Yep.
So that for the rest of the round, there's nothing else that they can do. All of your permanents, which if you have none other ones, would go with you. If
2/5.
you control objectives, you get to keep that many permanents on the board. But since you don't,
Hold on. Let's just read the whole thing here.
Okay, yeah. If you want to read it, we can do that too.
Upon reaching 0 stamina, a mage and all friendly creatures move to timeline 5, discard all focus tokens, and drop to 0 mana.
There you go. 0 mana.
0 mana. It's harsh.
In order.
For each objective controlled, the mage may maintain 1 concentration slot full, but you don't have that right now. Then remove all victory point chits and control markers from the incapacitated mage's objectives.
So you will score 0 points this round.
Did endothermic, that cost you 3 actions?
Nope. Yes, it did.
Cool.
Thank you. I was reading the wrong thing.
Yep.
All right. What else? What's next step?
Oh, good grief. I was not in the wrong thing. All right, here it is. Then during the end step, the mage returns to the start position with 10 mana. So you're not there yet. So I can't actually cast another spell at you until next round.
Yep.
And gains 1 incapacitate token. Mana cost increased by 1 mana per incapacitate bonus a mage has. If this is your 3rd incapacitate, it's an automatic loss. We didn't actually put in here that you get 3 points for killing a mage, so I'm going to do that right now.
I think it's in the victory point section.
Yeah. So you will gain 3 victory points immediately. Yep, that makes sense to put it there too. Did you already do that, or should we click her up?
I haven't done anything to victory points.
So let's knock it up to 9.
Do we have an exhaustion token right now?
No, it didn't save. So just grab a token and we'll call it that. Oh, it's that one. There it is. Yeah, it's not labeled, but it'll be the purple one. So for each of those, your mana costs increase by 1.
No.
Yep. And so in this case, Puddin still has. It's not much, but he does still have 1 action that he can take because of the fact that he's in 4 instead of 5.
It's a big deal.
Not over yet. It can be. Other times where, like, examples of when this happens is if your creature can actually kill the mage, then your mage has an entire turn to themselves to do whatever they want.
I just get a focus token, unfortunately. So
yeah, in this case,
how
it's
unfortunate.
Just focused, but yeah, and you're gonna end up going up to 11 total points at the end of that round because of the fact that you control that objective, so and you get
this is the only thing I could do to catch up because he had gotten all those objectives right dice yet, so this could be a real bad place for me.
It could very well be. Don't forget to add the 2 points for your objective if we're on the end step now. You should be up to 11, I believe.
All right. So this turnabout is fair play in this. So if he comes out with a fireball in my face, I'm
so do I just channel at 10? Is that it?
You will channel up to 20. You just like
you start at 10, and then channel to 20. Yep.
All right. Well, is there anything with initiative that's special when you get exhausted?
No. We had something we were going to say?
I know we talked
about. At the moment, no. At the moment, no. It stays with whoever has the most spells in their slot, which would be
obviously it would have to be
mage.
Yeah.
Part of the trade-off for getting a full health reset and all of extra mana is that you are slow to react as you wake up.
All right, let's see those wound die.
Or respawn maybe. I don't know. We haven't got a good term for it yet, but
2. All right,
2 total.
4.
But they do go away.
Yay! They go away.
They go away.
And I am not healthy enough to try and kill him again, so I need to run away.
Either run away or collect some objectives, just something to something to change the math here.
All right, well, it is going to be your turn. I think you've done everything here. So whenever you're ready.
Let's see here. What range do my spells have? All right, so I'm going to use my reaction again. I'm going to play Skate.
Okay.
And that's going to cost me 3.
Yep. So this is a good example of the movement spell for the Ice Mage.
Yep.
In a good time to get the heck out of dodge.
Right?
And then I'm going to move. Just because it's more fun to do it this way. I'm going to go this way. 1, 2, 3. And I get to just go over here.
Talk about
The
BS.
big escape. The big escape. Yeah.
And that's gonna be to there.
Yep. And because of the previously laid ice terrain, the Ice Mage can use that as a get out of jail kind of, or get out of a dangerous situation kind of spot.
Well, let's see.
And in the future, we are also
If I
planning to
remembered
have,
properly what the range on Fireball was, because
Yeah.
if you can move 3 and then throw a Fireball here, that's bad for me. So maybe I should.
well, one of the things that we're considering for future is that we will have ways to regenerate or like regain stamina and stuff like that. We haven't
Yeah.
quite figured out the balance for those, but those spells don't exist in the game just yet. But they are in our drawing board. We're still working on them. So for this game, it might not be there, and he can't completely turtle, but he can get away from what is a dangerous situation in the exact moment right here. So
I think I have to go here, unfortunately. All right. That's it.
Okay, you're gonna go there.
Move. Yeah.
I am going to take my move action with my boots of speed and move here. And then we are going to, with Accelerate 2, cast Fireball on the objective.
It's a range 4. Holy frank! I should have just thrown a spell at you. Good God.
or just not back to the starting spot. Not been in Fireball.
Well,
range.
we're going to do it in a range that doesn't hit me, but hits the objective and you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spend a total of 14 minus 4, so 10 mana on that.
All right. I think that's a GG.
And then we're going to roll 5 dice. We'll see what we roll. And I am next to at least 1 fire terrain to consume, but we'll see what we roll. Oh, I get another one because of my overcharging
wristlet.
Yep, that's death.
So that
matter what
is-
you roll at this point.
that is
So
death.
You get this, and you have this, and I'm gonna gain a copy of this here, and you're gonna go up to 17, and then you get to decide how many distributions you're gonna do.
That's right.
And
So I
moved
consumed 1,
5.
so we'll just go ahead and just
I'll lose my focus token.
here and
Bells come back.
here. This goes neutral.
Maybe I should have done. Maybe I should have cast Snow Beast.
Either Snow Beast or gotten further out of range.
And Accelerate, that just doesn't affect your cooldown, right?
Accelerate does not affect the cooldown. That's correct.
And right back at you. Throwing that fireball.
No.
And I think that puts me at 5. So that's it.
Yep, it does. Yep, end of the round.
I'm going to go ahead and gain 1.
All right, 1 point gained.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to pay 2. And I'm going to place it right here. Just to break up that ridiculous pathing you have. All right.
You still got a pretty good option there too, though, which is funny.
I know, right? It's like, it doesn't really help.
Did you pay your extra mana for that?
Oh, I did. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think it's doable.
Well, we could call it here. This is only a demo game, but it's up to you.
Looking at my ranges. See if I could even possibly. Oh, I mean, maybe we can give it a try, but
Sure.
I just, yeah, seems tricky to me. Because I would have to turn off and turn on. And you got, I don't know. I don't think I can make 14 points before you make 7 at this point.
Well, we can call it if you want. Up to you.
Dan, how are we on time? I mean, this has been a long time.
A long
It's
one.
been about 2 hours. I mean, I think we got the introduction down, which is the whole point of this game.
Yeah.
Just to show kind of how it works.
Yep.
And we've had, I think, like everything: reaction tokens, focus tokens, mage death, all that stuff. Well, exhaustion.
Yeah, we've covered pretty close to everything, and we've got a couple rules to clean up, but for the most part, yeah, we're looking pretty good.
Okay. And you would have initiative? All right, that's fine. All right, let's call it.
All right.
We've been on this for too long.
The Fire Mage has accomplished a victory in this one. Is there anything else we want to cover prior to ending the stream and the video?
There are links to the rules document in the Discord.
Yep, in the community Discord.
If you join the Playtester community Discord, there are links to the rules document, and
there's also links to the mod. So
we'll have a link to the Discord in this YouTube channel, in this YouTube video. So just go ahead and follow. Go ahead and just use that link to join the Discord, and all the instructions will be on there.
And if you're not already a playtester, make sure you ping it real quick, because at the moment we're kind of restricting access to those who are interested in doing it.
Yes.
So make sure you let us know. And then, yeah, you can find everything on the Discord.
Well, as I said, we just went into beta. Like, all these basic mechanics, we've been working on those for a while. So, like, in terms of balance, all that stuff, we're still trying to figure that out. We'd love to see your feedback on how this game is, if there's anything that seems like it could be improved, all that stuff. But that's pretty much what we got here. So I don't know, unless anyone else has something to add, I think we wrap this video up.
Yep,
well,
I think we wrap it.
We've got another action item. So this just says gold storage token, right?
Oh yeah, we never placed that.
Right. Yet. I never cast it. Yeah. But the point being, there are rules for what this does, and so we'll put those on these cards.
Yep, we'll make sure the permanents have the non-creature permanents have what they need.
The mod will get updated so that it actually has its rules on there.
All right, I think that about covers it.
Well, thank you everyone that's joining us on the stream. You're all wonderful people, everyone on the YouTube. Hope to see you in games, and feel free to ping us, because honestly, like, I'm pretty much willing to play games whenever people are free. So just let me know.
We need playtest data, and we need to work on the next phase is to collect as much data as we can so we can make a balanced game. So
yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Shark. Puddnhead. That was a good game. Definitely could have gone either way, and it was pretty fun.
I think I missed a few key rolls there, but
we're not experts. We're just they say designers are terrible at their own game. So anyway, see everybody out there, and take care.